Welcome to the Prison Professors channel. I am Michael Santos. Today, I am filming on location in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm away from my home office, and so the audio may not be as good. I don't know. I'm recording this on my laptop with hopes of just sharing a little bit more information because I'm making a commitment to provide new content every day with hopes of teaching and inspiring people who are going into the criminal justice system or people who are in prison. And it's my hope that you will support this work by subscribing to our program, but also if you are a connoisseur of CBD products, please consider using our sponsors at cbdtv.com. There's a link to that program below. The reason that I always bring that up is because they have shown the real confidence. My partners and I'm a partner at cbdtv.com, but my partners have really helped me by allowing me to use resources from this organization so that I can continue creating new content every single day with hopes of improving outcomes of the criminal justice system. And today what I want to talk about is executive clemency. I've made a couple of videos on that over the past couple of days. And the reason I'm doing that, of course, is because it's really in the news. You see that both the political left and the political right are really up in arms that President Trump has granted a commutation to Roger Stone. And I don't want to make a point one way or the other on whether that was right. What I do want to say are that there are tens of thousands of people in federal prison who are worthy of the same type of relief. In fact, these are people that have been working for many years to prove worthy of executive clemency. But it's very difficult for them to get the attention that Roger Stone has, because Roger Stone has, of course, a very big platform. Well, anybody who's in jail or prison right now needs or should be thinking about, what can I do to begin sowing seeds for this kind of outcome if it's what I want? Because it doesn't happen by accident. You know, an individual who wants to petition for some type of relief, whether it is through executive clemency or whether it is through the type of legislation that passed with the First Step Act that allows a person in prison to request home confinement for compassionate release, all of that requires personal advocacy. And the sooner a person begins building a personal advocacy campaign, the more traction that person can get. If you look at the Prison Professors channel, you will see that I have several hundred videos. But if you look at the very first video that I published that video in August, or I think it was August of 2012, and that was within days of me transitioning from a federal prison to a halfway house. I didn't know what I was doing. I just picked up an iPhone like the one that's sitting behind me and started making a recording because I understood the importance of communicating with an audience, because I had served my sentence, but I knew that tens of thousands of other people would be going into the prison system. And it's our job at Prison Professors, it's what we do, is try and create content that will teach people what can you do to live in the world as it exists. And the world is an unjust world. We would love to say that the world is a just world. We would love to say that the judicial system is really all about justice. But in many cases, it is not about justice. It is, for some people, it is about vengeance. For other people, it is about preserving the status quo. And so the system is built on this concept of finality. But a person that wants to overcome that has to begin building a self-advocacy package. And it's something that, we never ask anybody to do anything that we haven't done and that we're not still doing. This work, this video today, right now, is an example of self-advocacy. I create this content because I want to not only help more people who are going into the system understand how to get a different outcome from what others expect, but I'm also doing this for selfish reasons. What are those selfish reasons? Well, earlier I have written about the different mentors that guided and inspired me. And one of those mentors was Gandhi, who said, strive to be the change that you want to see in the world. And I want to see a world where people have the power to carve out their own happiness, to carve out their own fulfillment. And so I'm always showing people, these are the strategies that worked for me when I was climbing through 9,500 days in prison. These are the strategies that I began working on with Justin when I met him during the time that he served in prison for a securities violation. So we've created this content with hopes of helping other people learn how they could either use it themselves, or if they don't know how to use it themselves, they can work with members of our team. It's rare that I work on a one-on-one personal basis with people, because my work is requires me to spend more time on creating content and writing books and writing courses. And so I don't always have the time to reach out to everybody on a one-on-one basis, but we have a phenomenal team of people who can help create advocacy packages, whether it's to prepare for sentencing, whether it's to prepare for the prison journey, or whether it's to prepare for an eventual sentence commutation. And it's important to realize that those commutations have to kind of start with really a mindset of saying, I know what I have to do going forward, and I know this is going to be not a one-day project, but it's going to be either a multi-month project or a multi-year project, and I've got to begin sowing seeds to get the best possible outcome. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens when somebody recognizes that, you know, we've got to take on this mindset of, like I say a lot of times, the best time to plant an oak tree, when is it? It's really 20 years ago, and I'd love to take credit for that saying, but I heard it from somebody else. I just don't remember who it was. The second best time to plant an oak tree is today. So if you are thinking that you're going into the criminal justice system today, you've got to be thinking about, how can I begin building an advocacy package that will help me in the weeks, in the months, in the years, in the decades ahead? What can I do? And every individual has the ability to begin crafting that new story, crafting that new narrative. You can do so through writing projects. They can do so through community service projects. They can do so through personal development projects. But to the extent that that individual follows the principled path that we teach through our programs at Prison Professors, that individual becomes far more likely to succeed. And what is that principled path? It is to really define success. Figure out what it is that you want to achieve, what it is that you want to do. That's number one. And then once you've done that, that's the essential first step. The second step is going to be to create a strategy and document that strategy. You've got to be very clear on what you're going to do and how you are going to do it. Two, you've got to develop the tools, the tactics, and the resources that will help you get there. If you develop those tools, tactics, and resources, you have a far better chance of executing on that strategy that you documented. And three, you've got to be willing to measure your progress every single day. I have made a commitment to creating new videos every single day for the Prison Professors community, and we do hope that you will subscribe to it, because we want to give more of this information away, whether you are getting this information out here in society or whether you're getting this information while you're inside of a jail or prison. That's why we are so thankful to our sponsors, including the team at cbdtv.com, which you see at the bottom of this video as our sponsor. I always put them on the bottom of every video, because I'm hoping that people will support this effort. This is really a community-based effort to bring educational resources into jails and prisons across America. This is a model that we created with hopes of helping to improve outcomes for as many people as we possibly can. We know how difficult it is. We know that if somebody goes into the system, it's very hard to maintain a high level of energy and discipline while a person is separated from family and community. We know that once a person comes out on the other side, it's very difficult to transition into the labor market or transition into the business community. But we also know that at various times during that journey, opportunities will open. Opportunities will open potentially to get out of prison through compassionate release of some sort. Perhaps a parole board will be reinstated. You want to have a position if that happens. You want to be in the best possible position if that happens. Or you may want to petition the court for a commutation of sentence at some time, or maybe on the other side of the journey you want to apply for a pardon. What you don't want is to begin those efforts at the last minute. The sooner a person starts building and sowing seeds for the best possible outcome, the sooner that person starts to restore confidence and starts to believe that they can really build something in their best interest, that they can start really building something that can move the needle in their life. Now, there are far too many people who go into the prison system and just focus on doing their time. But doing their time is not going to advance a prospect for success. At the very earliest stages in my journey, a mentor, somebody that I consider a mentor, his name is Socrates, inspired me to have a different philosophy of life. Inspired me to, instead of think about myself and my own problems, I needed to be thinking about the community that I could serve. And if you're watching this video, you have an interest in the criminal justice system. You have an interest in the people inside, and you are the community that I want to serve. I want to help you help yourself if you're in this system. I want you to help your loved one if you're in this system. And again, I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I haven't done and that I'm not still doing. This is the pathway that powered me through 9,500 days in prison. And it's the pathway that allowed me to build businesses when I came home, including CBDTV.com. I'm a partner in that business, but I'm a partner only because I put together a coalition of other leaders who allowed me to become a partner. And I give my commitment to them that this is what my contribution is going to be. So if you can support us at CBDTV.com, we'd love it. We'd also love it if you were simply just a member of our community by subscribing to the channel. Take a look at our books and courses, and if they can help you or your loved one, we hope that you will use them. I am Michael Santos. Again, I want to thank you for being a part of our community, and I want to ask you to leave a comment below if you have a question. I think I'm going to start doing some live streams on YouTube, and I'd love to hear from you if you think that that's something that would benefit you. Just leave a comment below, and I'll figure out how I can do that. But the one commitment I'm going to make is I'll always be making videos with hopes of answering questions and responding to providing some more insight on there about how to navigate a way to success, however you define success, even if you're going into the criminal justice system or if you're in there. I'm Michael Santos with Prison Professors, and on behalf of our entire team, I want to thank you for being a part of our community.